Women's Corner on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja.
Woman don't cover, lower everybody.
Oh my people, make una come gather for Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja every Monday, go reach Thursday, and the time now 5:10, will be 10 minutes after 5. Make we talk am as e dey be.
Yes, a very beautiful morning out there to you as you join us on our newspaper review on Citizen 93. As usual, we will be taking a trip around. We will settle for a few stories to have an in-depth analysis with our in-house analysts who will be joining us later in the show.
There is no halt without
French newspapers this morning. IOC is still causing crude supply crisis. Dangote refinery cries out. That's the lead story from the Punch newspapers. And still on the Punch, UI students protest 10-hour electricity rationing, tuition hike. And still on the Punch, 401 Oshun LG caretaker escorts resign over Supreme Court judgment. Wow. And we also have to on the paper over 600,000 Nigerians sought asylum abroad under Buhari. That's according to reports. And FG gets over $751 million World Bank loan. North tops applicants list as FG begins student loan disbursement. Yes, I'm sure that a lot of students will be interested in this story. And still on the paper, 99-year-old former Malaysian Prime Minister hospitalized at foreign news. It's fake news on his palace denies marriage trending story. Yes, the story has been trending in the last couple of days in social media. Latest. This is according to, in the course of the program, you will be able to understand what it's all about. And UAE denies $10,000 bank balance. 640,000 naira fee for Nigerian visa application. That story has been generating a lot of controversy in the last 24 hours. I'm still staying with the Punch newspapers. LP Ford's Dume's removal as Senate Chief Whip. Yes, the Senate Chief Whip was removed yesterday and replaced. Alright, to the leadership newspapers now. The paper lists with the story, PDP governors decry minimum wage delay. Ongono replaces Ndume as Senate Majority Whip. Edo government appeals Shaibu's reinstatement, says Omobayo remains deputy governor. That story also broke yesterday when a federal high court here in Abuja declared the impeachment of Philip Shaibu null and void. Founding chairman Okure accuses Soludo of plot. PDP governors meet on party congresses. Edo, Ondo polls. And another round of local politics there. And don't forget that the governorship election is coming up in Edo and Ondo State later this year. Edo Guba, another court affirms Igidalo as PDP candidate. After the election, we may not have heard the last of this. Why Ebonyi PDP walked out of Enugu peace meeting, it's according to the secretary. All these are local politics stories in the political parties and in some of the states. Protests as PDP stakeholders demand suspension of women leader. And IMEC accredits 134. This story, we've taken it over and over in the last couple of days on this show. From leadership newspapers to other Vanguard newspapers, and the list is telecom sector hard hit by harsh government policies. That's a report by the Vanguard newspaper. PDP governors warn against presidential interference in Edo, Ondo, Guba polls. Police foil plans to kidnap residents of El-Rufai Estate in Abuja. That's a good one. Kudos to the officers and men of the Nigerian police. And Nigerian banks an update from the student protest at the University of Ibadan yesterday. Okay, the Daily Trust is next. I'm still staying with the petrol and petroleum story. IOC is selling crude at $4 per barrel above market price. Okay, still staying with Daily Trust. Army bursts Plateau Arms Syndicate, declared district criminal enclave. Drugs fueling insecurity in Yobe State. That's according to the governor of the state. Ndume, it's a crew head of service. Yes, this story also broke yesterday. Shown Nation Movement House over phone ban. Okay, the Nation newspapers now, and this is bans to pay tax on forex business gains. Reps okay 1.9 trillion naira for NDDC. Tinubu governors seek political solution to Rivers logjam. Osun State. Senate replaces Nume as chief whip. Yes, I read that story earlier on. Alright, and final port of call is the Guardian newspapers. And apart from all the other stories that we have read, which are also in the Guardian, let's look at some fresh stories here. Youth occupy Port Harcourt refinery over alleged negligence. 2 drowning fishermen and arrests 8. Another kudos to our gallant officer block school entrances. And $6 billion fraud, court rejects. Aguno warns observers against code of conduct violation in Edo and Ondo polls. Still on the Guardian newspaper, NIMET DG urges Nigerians to heed early warning signs, celebrating excellence. UAE denies approving tough visa requirements. I thank God for that clarification. And well, those are the headlines across the dailies this morning. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we will unveil our in-house analyst, and then we'll move straight into the second part of the show. It's still newspaper review on Citizen 93.7 FM. Please
Out. You are the voice of a new generation. And this is your station. Talk Radio 93.7 Citizen FM.
Did you miss out on the news during the week? Not to worry. A retrospect is here to make up for the misinformation. Retrospect is a complete package of all the major news headlines that made the airwaves from 7FM Abuja every Sunday at 6 p.m. Retrospect. We keep you informed. There is no health without mental health. As Nigerians, we are in a battle of survival. 1 million Nigerians suffer one mental disorder or another. So, are you depressed, anxious, having suicidal thoughts, or just tired of life? Your feelings are valid. This is My Mental Health Niger, and I am Dima Amadi on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja. On My Mental Health Niger, we share secrets, real-life stories, and conversations that shed light on mental health in Nigeria. Join me every Thursday 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. as we dissect matters of our minds. My Mental Health Niger. Let's look out for each other.
Need a lift? Feeling low, bored, or confused? Want your dream to brightly glow? Here is what to do. Women's Corner is waiting just for you. Education, work, lifestyle, career, mentorship, and family too. We will tackle the issues, provide solutions, and see you through. Finding your voice, reaching high, and making an impact. Women's Corner, where knowledge can fly. Join us every Mondays and Wednesdays at 1 p.m. for inspiring stories and practical advice to each other.
Oh, my top make we talk for Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja every Monday, go reach Thursday, and the time now 5:10 will be 10 minutes after 5.
FM here in Abuja. My name is Lawrence Mwite. Welcome to the second part of the show, and this is where we unveil our guest and our in-house analyst, Mr. Salman Salami. Good morning, sir.
Very good morning to you, Lawrence.
Yes, Mr. Salami is Chief Operating Officer of Citizen 93.7, and as usual, he will help us make sense of some of the headlines and some of the stories in the papers today. Mr. Salami, let's start off with the Dangote versus the IOC story. So to cries out, the management of Dangote Industries Limited has insisted that the international oil companies are still frustrating crude supply to its 600. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission for its various intervention in the oil companies' crude supply requests from IOCs and for publishing the domestic crude oil supply obligatory guidelines to enshrine transparency in the oil industry. In a statement on Wednesday, the Dangote Group alleged that the IOCs insisted on selling crude oil to its refineries through their foreign agents, saying the local price of crude would contribute to increase because the trading arms offer cargoes at $2 to $4 per barrel above the international official price. Mr. Salami, the long and short of it, in the last couple of months, there's been this back and forth and there's a cry for help from the Dangote refineries. And a lot of people have been talking, what exactly is happening? What kind of politics are we seeing unfolding here? Is it a case of sabotage or what? It's really, really very pathetic. Don't you think so?
Very, very pathetic. I agree with you. Sabotage, I suspect. But there is this funny thing, and is it really funny? When our refinery was not working, we were exporting crude oil. Now that we were exporting crude oil and importing PMS.
To produce PMS.
I really don't understand what is happening. I think we will get an expert in this oil and gas industry to come and speak more, because this is specialized area, so that our people will know exactly what is the problem. But Dangote has come out and he has said a lot of things about what the IOC, International Oil Companies, are doing to bring the expert to come and speak with our people.
Okay, some people have also said that efforts who just want to set up small refineries.
This is not, it is for the big boys, the big players, and the stake is very high.
Right. All right, we hope for and we hope for the best. Everything we are saying here, all we want is the best for the country, the best for the economy, and the best for Nigerians. Still staying with the Punch newspaper, Mr. Salami, this story about the UI protest, students' protest in Ibadan. I'm deliberately bringing this story. UI students protest 10-hour electricity rationing, tuition hike, and students of the University of Ibadan Wednesday staged a protest to express their grievances following the schedule for a 10-hour electricity supply on campus and a hike in tuition by the university management. Students were provoked by the announced 10-hour power supply, incessant tuition, and introduction of what they termed outrageous fees. Mr. Salami, when I saw the story, I said, students' protest has always been there, right from when we were in school. It's even better now, and will I say better? Supply, water supply, maybe sanitation, and exam timetable. A lot of things always provoke student outreach.
Let's situate it properly. Students, being a student is a phase. And that phase is beclouded by fantasy. That time you will think that immediately you leave school, you have a mindset as to how things should be. What I call utopia. You are so detached from the realities of life. There is a disconnect between you and what is going on in the real world. You are in a world of, it can be better, no doubt about that. But given the peculiar situation we are in now, 10 hours, to my mind, may not be good enough, but it's something we should learn to live with. That's why we are just romanticizing an unusual situation. It is not good, because I do not think having 24 hours electricity supply is a luxury. We have gotten to a level where electricity supply should be incessant in this country. Not that we will rationing and we saying yes, 10 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, or no hour at all. The students should know that there are some places in this country that they have not seen electricity perhaps in the last 1 year.
But that's no
But that
justification.
is not to say that it is good, that it is ideal, that that's what should be found ourselves today. There is the need for the best. That's what I'm trying to say. As regards Ike in tuition fee, of course, the ones who will bear the brunt give bread and with the another hand collect it. The net fund that was launched yesterday make education accessible to the children of the poor, the indigent. And of course we know that the only leveler that can make the sons of hewers of wood and fetchers of water somebody in life is robust education. And we thank the president for working on this and making this a reality. Just as I have said, let our students be more patient, because this is an unusual, this is not a particularly good time for this country.
Mr. Salami, I wish the students will giving you all this justification. It's not taking away from what you're saying. That's the reality on ground. But for some reason, when you're in the walls of that campus, it takes you away from the real world, as we used to say, the real world after your NYSC, and then you're introduced into the reality of life. But then it's always going to be like that. Students will always protest about certain things that they are not very comfortable with at the end of violence. And thank God for now. So let's leave that and go to still staying with the Punch newspaper. 401 Osun LG caretaker executive resign over Supreme Court judgment. Following last week's Supreme Court judgment granting local government autonomy, the 401 chairmen and members of the caretaker committees running the 62 local government and council development areas in Osun State. One of the local governments gave the notice. His resignation letter was also sent and addressed to the governor of Osun State. Mrs. Salami, there seems to be a lot of ripple effect of that Supreme Court judgment.
Well, after the judgment, it was clear that any council that is not manned by elected officials goes to no issue, because there will be no allocation. I don't know whether their plea has been accepted, because they are not think so. I don't think so. There must be reward for good behavior. They will just be strangulating them, giving them peanut and milking the local government. This is a welcome development. We want more of such actions. This is how governance should be. There is the need for accountability, transparency, and they must abide by the rule of law.
Very important. You can join the discussion. Call us on 0903 2229797. You can also call us on 0818 2222205 or 0818 2222206. Any of those numbers, call us and let's talk. It's newspaper review on Citizen 93.7 here in Abuja. Mr. Salami, yesterday this story broke that the Senate Chief Whip was relieved of his responsibility as the Chief Whip of the Senate, and a lot of reactions have followed there. But let's look at this. The leadership of Labour Party has condemned the removal of Senator Ali Ndume as the Chief Whip of the Senate. Following his sack, Ndume was immediately replaced by Senator representing Borno North, Tai Mongono. Ndume's replacement by the Senate followed a directive issued to that effect in a letter written by the National Chairman of the party, Umar Ganduje, and National Secretary, Senator Bashir Ajibola. The request was put to a voice. Mr. Salami.
See, the truth is this. There must be party discipline. You cannot be, there are channels in Dume just play to the gallery, and that is not good enough. What we are saying is this. We are not saying that Idime doesn't have the right to speak his mind on issues very, very dear to him. But the thing is this. You of your own. He has been there for long. So, even Mr. President. So, Idime just played to the gallery. And I think the action take
Wow. But, well, he has the powers to suspend him as a senator.
Then he should go to court and contest it.
Oh, you mean they should do the wrong thing first?
I wouldn't know, but
I'm saying that this is what they've done is within their right, but going ahead to suspend him as a senator, that will be overstepping their powers as a political party.
okay.
It's the constituents that can determine whether he remains in the Senate or not.
Which is true, and I will not withdraw that, and I will not encourage self-help.
Mr. Salami, if you're a military president, you'll be thoughtful.
Benevolent one.
Is there anything like that?
There is.
All right, okay.
There is the need for party discipline, no doubt about that.
Actually.
And that precisely is what I'm saying. It is indiscipline that has brought us to this level. And physician.
You thyself. But yeah, there's need for discipline, but I'm always worried when we pick and choose the kind of discipline we try to put. Even the political parties across the country, how disciplined are the officials of political parties? So, but that is a story for another day. Delay the negotiation. They, however, urge the federal government and the leadership of the organized labor to ensure that any agreement reached must be backed up by stakeholders' ability to pay. The governors also backed the recent Supreme Court's judgment granting financial autonomy to the local government system and pledged continuous support to the third tier of government. Mr. Salami, but you have been a major voice and the labor...
Well, you are doing it already. But honestly, politicians are a very funny set of human beings. Yes, PDP is just politicking the governors, precisely. How many of the PDP states have paid the 30,000 minimum wage? So you could see that they are just doing what they know how to do best. And to me, toying with the lives of the people is not a good thing. That's not the way to go. I want to believe that whatever we do, we should be mindful of the fact that we will not play with the welfare and well-being of the people. There is the need for public office holders to know that the main reason why they are in office is to grandstand and not to politic in such a manner as to insult human dignity.
Oh, well, I agree with you, Mrs. Salami, and we hope that our leaders across board are listening to this, because Nigerians are also watching. It's a newspaper review on Citizen 93.7 FM. Mr. Salmo Salami is my guest as usual, and he's been helping us so far make sense of some of All right, welcome. Reinstatement says Omobio remains deputy governor. Following the reinstatement of Comrade Philip Shaibu as deputy governor of Edo State by Federal High Court in Abuja, the state government has filed a stay of execution of the judgment before the Court of Appeal. It also insisted that Omobio remains the state's deputy governor pending the final determination of the case. The state's commissioner for orientation and communication disclosed this in a statement. Mrs. Salami, this story broke yesterday, but before you react to it, it is sometimes when our leader's statement issued by that Omobio remains the state's deputy governor, ask me often, he's speaking in his capacity as what? Because the case, stay of execution has just been...
Like we always say in the newsroom, I always ask, which is impunity. Not only that, but the appeal has been heard and judgment has been given reversing the first one until that judgment stands. Stay of execution because you are fighting does not mean that the judgment should be stayed. The execution of the judgment should be stayed.
Except this is expressly stated by the court.
Expressly stated by the court. And you see, I wouldn't know why the public office holders always choose and pick when it's convenient. Who are you to say that this is the and pronounced on the matter? You see, another thing I don't even understand about this, our democracy and separation of power is this. If a judge gives judgment, it ends there. It is not the judiciary that will implement that judgment. It is the executive. It doesn't matter the way it goes. Yours is to implement as pronounced. But of course we know what happens in this part of the world. There is a need to have a control.
When we push out statements to the public, wishing that they know what is right and what is wrong to the media. So payments of 32 billion naira to students as the student loan scheme, one of the cardinal programs of this administration, commenced yesterday. The 32 billion naira made available for the Programmation Loan Fund. The agency running the scheme, 103,000 successful applications were received. Putting
that when you do well, we will appreciate you. And when you do not, we will criticize you. We'll be critical in saying it, but we will never be hostile. And this is time to give kudos and timely implementation of that. Even if you decide to give them the whole of Central Bank, you still say that you are not doing anything. But then the fact still remains this, that this very policy is a commendable one. No right thinking Nigeria in the right direction, and we hope that it will not derail. We hope that this is a policy that will be a catalyst for national growth. Many, or not too many, because quite many of them perhaps are thinking of dropping out of school. With this, it only means that at least they will graduate. It will change destiny. These children of the poor, the source of relief, such a way that others will have the opportunity of benefiting from it. One good turn, not in flying colors. There is a lot of competition in the world now, and your degree is no more in.
It's the option, and it is now. It is on. It's no longer on paper now. So that means these students will have access to those of them who are qualified. You spoke about repaying the loan. You see, it is one thing to just appeal to conscience, but it's another thing to put in place things to ensure that, yes, when you get a loan, you pay back. And one of those is data. We keep saying it. We're a country that has, no longer as you are within the borders of Nigeria, the Nigerian government needs to know where you are and have your details. It starts because a few years ago it was embarrassing when we discovered that somebody was dismissed from one of the security agencies and he went to another state to, he got recruited into that same agency again. So if it could happen in a security outfit, that you cannot get away with this, you need to pay back. Because anywhere you go, you'll be fished out. They will do the needful. Mrs. Salami, this story also broke yesterday. Tinubu Oke's Wilson Jack to succeed Yemi Son as the head of the civil service, next head of service, and the president just did this. President Bola Tinubu yesterday approved the designation of Mrs. Didi Esther Wilson Jack as the next head of the civil service of the Federation. Mrs. Wilson Jack, whose appointment will take effect on August the 14th, will succeed incumbent Dr. Folashade Yemi Esson, who will bow out of service on August the 13th. Special advisor told the president on media as a seasoned civil servant. Mr. Salami, I'm sure this appointment would also gladden the heart of the women folk from one woman to another.
Well, I think what a man can do,
a woman can do even better.
They will always say better. That is, so many women are doing it. But, well, she's still in office on the 14th of August. She did well. At least there was wonderful retirement. And welcome, Mrs. Wilson Jack. Is the civil service is the engine room of the government. That is where implementation of the policies and programs of the government, that's where it takes place. They are the ones to actualize or to help the government implement. And what we be hearing to take charge and change the narrative, so that Nigerians will now enjoy the bountiful dividends of democracy. No matter how good a policy is, it remains what it is.
On paper, a good dog to the office, but we all, I'm sure that since yesterday our phones have not stopped ringing. And all your former friends, those who never knew your number, are going to get your number. If you attend a certain church, every member of your church will call you. Your family members, both home and abroad, are going to will reach out to you. Your service, history will be the best judge. And as for the outgoing head of service, yes, you have done your best. Okay, maybe you can call us on 0903-2229-797. Yes, let's take that one. I don't know what's wrong with these other numbers. 0903-2229-797. Mr. Salam, as for Dr. Folashade Yemi, you've done your best. Let history be the judge. And you will also realize that your phones will also start ringing less now, because there is a new wanted to check on you. You will suddenly realize that those calls will become fewer and fewer. Your house also, the cars that used to come and park along the street, everybody wanted to see you. Very soon you're going to realize also that sometimes life outside the public office can be lonely. Mr. Salami, I know you want to realize. Let's take this call first. Hello, good morning. Kingsley, okay, Kingsley, please go ahead. Hello, Wilson, where are you? There is this, let's go ahead.
I don't want to read the head of service, the successful sector. I don't want to encourage and allow policies of the great time. But at the end of the day, whatever we have to learn, people will jot down that. So that's what I don't want.
The phone has stopped ringing.
Okay, I didn't. Well, from experience, you should know that that's what is going to happen. The phones will stop ringing, and this is when you will know your true friends who will still stick with you, and your family members, of course, loved ones who will still come around you. But for the others, the allegiance has shifted immediately. That's how it is.
That is the way of the Ajib.
Government in power. Yes. All right, Mr. Salami, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have you. But before we go, I want to say happy birthday to one of our dear own, Princess Uyume Ubong. On this day of your birth, this is a A message from your husband. On this day of your birth, I want you to know how much you are loved and cherished. You have a fulfilling year ahead with loads of love. That's from your husband, Ubong Monday. Happy birthday, Princess. And Mr. Salami, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have you on this show, especially with your wealth of experience and your loads of institutional memory. Thank you, 93.7 FM. Have a beautiful day.